That's unique in history. And we're paying the price for it in a big way. Instead of that, through so many liberal values have become the orthodoxy in the social services and in our approach to children. And what I see again every day is the evolution of what we call the blame culture. Grievance, excuse, why should I try? Now, in Tottenham, it's very largely a black community. Most of our kids are black Afro-Caribbean or from other backgrounds. And we've got 13 or 14-year-old kids saying, why should I do English essays? I'm never going to go outside Tottenham, so I only have to speak like they do in Tottenham. Why should I go into an exam? I'm going to fail. Why should I try and get a job? Everyone's racist. And we have 40, 50-year-old black guys, accomplished businessmen, turning over hundreds of thousands of pounds a year, telling them, and these people grew up in the 70s when there was racism, there was terrible trouble for many minority groups. And they're telling these 13, 14-year-old kids, it's not true, it's nonsense. But these kids have a completely poisoned mindset, which actually destroys any chances they might progress in life. And it just doesn't need to happen. It is completely fabricated and profoundly damaging. Father absence is another massive problem. 32 kids at my gym, most come from broken families with no present fathers. We can go back, the Damno Taylor trial, all 11 suspects had no fathers. Most people in prison have come from broken homes with no fathers. It goes on and on and on. I'm not attacking single mothers. This is very important. That's why I use the term father absence. The onus of blame is on the male. That's the term they use in America. It's the term we need to use here. What that means is that ultimately you're being more positive about it and you're helping support some of these mums who work incredibly hard to put food on the table, make sure their kids do their homework, pick them up, etc. But that doesn't overrule the fact that also, I see firsthand, some single mothers who have multiple children by multiple fathers who have never any intention of working or of getting married. And this is a completely separate phenomenon. And this is something we do have to speak about, because it is almost the centre of gravity of so much crime. It is the nucleus of so much crime and cycles of poverty that go on and on. So, we have a generation of young men who are unable to form their male identity through lack of male role models, who have no understanding with authority, don't understand the word no, have no understanding what it is to be a man. It reminds me of a National Geographic documentary I watched about baby elephants whose parents had been killed and who were sent into compounds to be protected. And they sent all the baby male elephants, the baby bull elephants, into a compound on their own, or together. And within a few weeks, they killed all the other animals, knocked down all the other trees, and then started tearing each other to pieces. There was no male bull elephant to keep them in place and to actually create some understanding and some order. And that's what's happening to our kids in real life on the streets. So all these factors lead to gangs and gang crime, because gangs give these kids the father figures in senior drug dealers who are strong, really charismatic people. It gives them the unconditional loyalty, the unconditional support and love in many ways that they need. These kids, they will go anywhere for each other and do anything for each other, and that's very important where they've had so much rejection in other parts of their life. And of course, it all happens within a set of reverse values, where violence is positive, being rude, living outside society, resorting to reason only when aggression doesn't work. So, in conclusion, it doesn't have to be like this. We took a boxing team to Ghana, and it was an extraordinary situation because these kids, I'm sure everyone knows, live in such poverty in Ghana. They're picking up rice grains off the market floor after it closed. They could be fed. And these kids, they're fighting to get into school to learn in Ghana with their corrugated iron roofs and 4 poles holding the school up. And they really have no hope. No matter how hard they work, no matter what they do, they have no hope. And I come back to England, and I see my kids with their 2 mobile phones and their iPods. These are good kids, I'm not knocking them, but they live in the circumstances that we have created for them. as a society. And these kids have an army of social workers begging them to be included, to come to school, to come home at night, to stop criminalising, to talk to their mother with some respect, begging them, and yet they won't do it. So the term social inclusion is a strange term I don't yet understand. For me, it's a value system. Yes, we need to give these opportunity, we need to create jobs, we need to intervene if necessary. But I hear no one in the industry, the property industry, talking about the value system that is a surefire winner for so many people. And that certainly my parents, and their best before them, immigrants to this country, used, and any success that so many people have had is to this system, which is discipline, respect for authority, respect for others, a work ethic, persistence, good manners, just meeting society halfway. That's all we ask of our kids. And the good news is, so many, when they're given the chance, when they're engaged on their wavelength, can do it. None of our kids are bad kids. Some of them, having not been to school for over a year, with us, will get A's in their GCSE maths next summer. Several of them will get 7 or 8 GCSEs. Some of them, and these are kids I say, haven't been to school for a year, are doing law GCSE. These are kids who've been arrested 5 or 6 or even a dozen times in the criminal justice system. So, what I'm saying is, if you engage them on their wavelength, if you introduce authority, respect, all the values that we have relied on and been taught, but on their wavelength, I'm getting here to say I'm a hoodie hugger, which I apologise for, but if you do take one step towards them and introduce to them what has benefited us so much, hopefully we'll make inroads into the whole problem. Thank you very much.